Welcome back. Okay, so now we are going to do a problem set in our Learn book. Remember, we've got L for learn, and then our Learn book has the blue side. So go ahead and get your Learn book and a pencil, and then come back to me. All right, so we are going to open our book up to pages 11 and 12. So you're looking for this page, and there's an 11 down there in the bottom, and then we'll also be working on the back of it where it says 12, okay? And I'm going to do problem. There we go. All right, I'm going to do problem 1 and problem 8 with you, so that way you guys know what you're doing. So the directions say, circle 2 parts you see, make a number bond to match. So you just watched a video and we just practiced this. So this is going to show me if you understand. And if you didn't understand, that's okay, because you're going to get more practice and we can talk about it more. All right? So we're going to start with number 1. I want you to follow along with me. So first I'm going to circle the parts that I see. So I see this looks like a nice group right here. I'm going to circle that. And then I have this one by itself as a group. Okay, so there are my 2 groups. And this group is a group of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I didn't need to count that because my brain already subitized that number and I knew that that was 5. Remember, we talked about when our brain knows without counting, and that's called subitizing. So my brain already told me that was 5, but I wanted to count it just to double check. So I have 5 as one part, and I have 1 as my other part. Where do I put my, when I'm going into my number bond, where do I put my parts? Where do I put my parts? I put them down in these 2. Okay, I put them down in these parts. And I know that because these come together to make my big number, right? To make my whole. So I'm going to write 5, and then I'm going to write 1. Now, how do I figure out what my whole is? Well, I'm going to count on. So I'm going to say I know that this was a group of 5, and I'm going to count on from 5 the dots that are in my second group. So I've got 5, and then I'm going to count on 6. So my whole is 6. So 6 is going to go right there. Okay? So if you need to pause this video to make sure that you have what I have, then go ahead and pause it. All right? If not, we're going to flip the page, and we are going to look at number 8. Okay, so the directions are still the same for number 8. All right, I'm still circling 2 groups and then filling out my number bond. So the 2 groups that I see right away is I see that as a group and I see this as a group. Now make sure that you're being really careful not to put 1 dot in both of the groups, because then you're counting 1 dot twice, and that doesn't give you the right answer, right? So I separated those. Do you see that? Now I'm going to figure out how many are in each of my parts. So in this part, I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to put that next to it so I don't forget. And then this part I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to put it here. Now we have to put those numbers in our number bond. And those are our parts. So where in my number bond do I put my parts? My parts go in these boxes down here because the parts are coming together to make that big number. Okay, so I'm going to put 4 and I'm going to put 5. Now to find my whole, I'm going to count on. So I'm going to start with the bigger number so that way I don't have to count on as much. Okay, so I'm going to start with 5. So 5, and then I'm going to count on 6, 7, 8, 9. So where am I going to put a 9? Right here. All right. Okay. Now I'm going to read number 9 to you and maybe give you a hint or two, but I want to see if you can do number 9 by yourself, okay? So, number 9 says, how many pieces of fruit do you see? Write at least 2 different number bonds to show different ways to break apart the total. So they want you to do what you were doing with these, but they want you to give them 2 different number bonds. So when I look at this, the first thing that I see is I see a group here of small fruit, but then I also see a group here of big fruit. Okay, so that's one of the ways that I see it. But then I also see it a different way where I see that there are apples and there are strawberries. So that was me breaking it into 2 different ways that I see it. Okay? And you're going to fill this out. This one's kind of tricky, so if it's a little hard for you, that's perfectly okay. I just want to see what you can do. All right? And we're going to go over it in our student debrief. All right, guys, get started.